afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're off here to a 1 vs 1 on La Glaze with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda here, like Defender of the Fatherland, here with another exciting Propagandacast. We're looking here at Park fighting for the Oberkommando West Deutschland. And the third Aufklärungsschwadron versus North, we got Puco fighting here for the Soviet Union, Socialism. And the 120th Rifle Division. We're looking here at Scavenge Doctrine, Luftwaffe Ground Forces, and Special Operations versus with Infantry, Panzer, and Kuhlwagen Bulletins versus Guard Motor. Combined arms and shock rifle here with 3 S-6 bulletins. I do see some players sort of load up quite heavily on the S-6 bulletins. The S-6 being quite a potent light assault gun. High rate of fire, good penetration, ability to fire artillery. I mean, getting a bunch of them isn't too difficult, and they can do a lot of damage to most medium and heavy armor very rapidly. Plus, of course, with the artillery barrage ability, they can also make short work of dug-in positions reasonably well. So, I mean, it's a pretty understandable sort of setup. Then again, I am seeing more and more players sort of experimenting heavily into the S-6. Meanwhile, down here we got nothing further for Park. For Puco, it's just conscripts, engineers here, Sturmpanzer up in the center. We can see the engineers here, their base is sort of playing hide and seek here with the Sturmpanzer. He's just running here and there, keeping Park here a bit off balance as he's bringing up more conscripts. They're sort of fighting against it. At the same time, we see Puco is sort of focusing here out in the center, but he is, in that sense, though, also then slightly forgetting about the rest of the map, specifically fuel resources, whereas, you know, Park's very much got to focus, then actually will slightly get ahead of his opponent that way. It's a little fun fact there. More Volksgunners there for Park. Volksgunners, by the way, did also fight on the Eastern Front as infantry and full divisions. It's just, generally, when it comes to a lot of sort of, you know, later unit sort of types that were established, on the Eastern Front, there's barely anything about them. It's barely it's pretty much all when they're fighting against the Americans and the British. You hear something about them, and even then, occasionally, it would be difficult to sort of find any sort of serious sources on it. So, you know, little fun fact there, but again, Volksgunners on the Eastern Front, there's like not a lot there. But they did fight there, in fact. I know some fought in the Baltics, and I know some fought around Budapest, for example. But again, it's a bit tricky to find all the details there. Volksgunners sitting out there, tanks of points, got a truck out there for Park. 3 conscripts for engineers here for Puco. Conscripts they push back as they're getting attacked here by Volksgunners from several sides. Nice little attack there by Park, and right into the house here. Do you have any Molotovs here? Otherwise, it could easily punish Park from rushing into the house there, but sadly, Puco wasn't able to do that. Engineers going northwards, attacking through the north of the town there. Got a bit of harassment going on the left side, but at the same time, he also got movement from Park in the east towards the fuel point there. There's a lot of infantry play across the map here, centre, and so on there. But again, there does tend to be, on most matches there, a lot of sort of centre focus there from the players. They really want to control it, and of course, you know, controlling the resources tends to be secondary. And I find it a bit interesting in many ways that fuel can end up actually being sort of a secondary objective rather than, you know, the primary objective, since without fuel, you're not getting any tanks. Well, you're not getting a lot of tanks. And you're certainly not getting them fast either. There's a bit of shooting here, pressing a bit against Park, who's going for the battle group headquarters first. Bit of healing, reinforcement, maybe a light infantry gun, which tends to be what most players get. Occasionally there'll be sort of the rare player actually goes for the flak half track, and even more rarely, once in a blue moon, some will go for the infrared half track, but that's about it. And here this Puco's actually going for a slightly more peculiar build. He's going for 3 conscripts, 3 engineers. Now that one's actually peculiar. 3 conscripts and 3 engineers. Can't say I've really seen that one a lot there. So he's clearly just attempting to get a lot of cheaper infantry. In this case, then gets to grab a lot of territory. Maybe also get a lot of repair speed going later down the road. Flamethrowers, perhaps. I mean, some players will, of course, go for a lot of flamethrowers. So that could be what here Puco's planning. Otherwise, it's hard to say because he could easily be, you know, taken up by now. But he has yet to do so. So, I mean, 3 conscripts, 3 engineers certainly stands out there. Sort of a build there. From my perspective, engineers are not doing too well here as the Volksgunners. Conscripts are moving up to sort of support here. Sturmpioneer pushing back troops there in the east. We got points that are being slightly grabbed. And we got a small shield here between conscripts and Volksgunners. Of course, now I got the engineers moving up to flush out the Germans there to get rid of Hans. In the west, Sturmpioneers pushing forwards. Noting he's down to, well, 3 Volksgunners, 1 Sturmpioneer squad versus 3 conscripts. Then yes, in that sense, Puco's got a lot of pieces compared to Park's who are about on the map here, the chessboard, if you will. On the other hand, Park's pieces, well, at least half of them sort of engagement actually pack more firepower. Whereas the other 3 pieces can use to at least keep them checked and handle, also do a lot of damage there. So it's sort of interesting to see sort of how then Puco ends up playing his pieces, because this is definitely sort of a game here for him of sort of playing a lot of pieces compared to his opponent fewer pieces. Of course, we've got here Scavenge, which does allow Park here to act a bit more swiftly with the Jaegers, sort of a counter-attack and harass there with the Jaegers quickly appearing there out of a house, infiltrating in, which the Germans were fond of, by the way, but so were the Russians. The Russians were really fond of it. In fact, they're also fond of sort of night raids in the evening. In fact, the Germans preferred the Western Front in many cases because they knew the Americans and the British never attacked during the night, whereas on the Eastern Front, well, you're pretty much at risk being attacked 24/7. And certainly night raids were one of those sort of occurrences where they just sort of raid trenches and the likes there. So a little fun fact there, in fact, a little fun fact there. So in that case, both Germans and Russians were great infiltrators, whereas the Americans and the British never really trained infiltration tactics at all. At least the Americans didn't. The British might have, but I'm not so sure about that, though, to be honest. Sturmpanzer moving up, they got a Kedemef, obviously here, Park. Worried about Puco bringing up any kind of sort of light tanky or light vehicle. There's so far as that, we've got a support company. We're going for a mortar here for Puco, a bit of light artillery there. But still, despite all of his pieces, he's not quite playing them fully there against Park here at the moment. Struck me a bit here. We've also got no assault rifles up here for Park's infantry. The full Grenadiers. Jaegers out here in the open. Not the best position there. They are swiftly retreating. Incendiary grenade offensive and using to retreat. I think that's actually a good position there, actually retreating out the back door rather than trying to take the front there, because the Germans in this case will just move up to block it. Whereas if he hits out the back door, they can't so easily sort of follow up, then he can sort of, you know, quickly get away if necessary. But also in this case, actually then sort of draw them towards the conscripts and then popping in the engineers afterwards. So nice little feint here by Puco. Very nice little feint. I think some very good reaction measures there in the centre. Engineers grabbing the victory point. And the east, we've got a single Fulters moving up there, seizing territory there as well. Puco's also got munitions floating about. I mean, with all the engineers, another option you could consider besides getting a lot of flamethrowers is also laying down a bunch of mines rapidly. All the way, we got the PM41 82mm mortar up there for Puco. And we got a second mortar on the way there. So it's going for sort of a pretty heavy infantry approach with a lot of artillery support there. So that way try and bash down Park and his forces. And what do we have here? We got sandbags being prepared to help defend the fuel point as he seizes it from the Russians. We got a mortar moving up there. Then the west we got fuel points and victory points being seized here by Puco and the Red Army, the 120th Rifle Division. Jaeger light infantry moving out there, spearheading the way for the Sturmpioniere and the Volksgrenadiers. Even though they're Kedemef again, we can see a Park is quite worried about vehicles to an extent. If he was really worried, he'd go for Panzer on the Sturmpioneers. Take up there for Park. Constantly being engaged by a large German infantry force here, a bit mixed though. And there you go, laying down sandbags and of course now under heavy artillery fire from the mortars. In fact, both mortars brought up here by Puco. He's taking, no chances in wiping them out. Just moving there, go burning away veterans who won. West side there now slightly crumbling under the fresh German assault. Puco there milling about very rapidly, seizing buildings right in front of the Sturmpioneers, opening up there on them. Mortars shifting over there. In fact, they could then bombard the Sturmpioneers there. Again, the mortars do give them quite a good chance of actually wiping some units if they could sort of halfway hit a target and at least lay down a lot of fire there versus Park's men. So it's actually quite a threat that to go sort of for double mortars defensively and offensively can be quite nasty there. So, I mean, it's not, I would say, surprise, but it's just not so rarely seen from a Soviet player. It's more, American players who love to go, double mortars because it's really, really good for them. German players, less so. I mean, it's still really good because, they're almost as good as the American mortar, due to veterans basically being in favour of the Americans, but at the same time, they don't quite have sort of the same forceful infantry squad, so it doesn't quite work as well for the Germans offensively. It's more defensively minded. But there you go. Volkswagen taking heavy loss. We've got veterans one on one mortar. And not quite the same on the other. German infantry flanking in though. And we got a mechanized regiment going up here for Park. And the Aufklärungsschwadron. Or Squadron. Probably an Abteilung actually, now that I think about it. Schwadron is sort of the, I think, company level that it's called Schwadron there actually. So, my mistake. The Abteilung is what I was looking for. Obviously, I just like the noun Schwadron or Squadron. But all the way, 3rd Reconnaissance Battalion. Which did, however, have infantry, and in fact it was increasingly common throughout the war. Basically, larger parts of the reconnaissance battalion to actually basically just act as a, extra Panzer Grenadier battalion, since that's roughly what they were anyways. There was just the armoured cars that were the actual reconnaissance bits. Academy of Range Stretching U squad here in the east. Demo charges and mines. That's a pretty expensive combo. Usually what you want to do is actually lay down the mines and place the demo charge on it, but he's playing them right next to each other. I'm not sure if that one works, but if it does work, I mean, it's pretty much something that can wipe a squad and can usually also do a lot of damage to the vehicle. Most likely the vehicles will get knocked out. A tank, though, maybe medium. I don't know. Can't quite remember that one. At least not the stats for that right now. But if it doesn't wreck it, though, it'll be close to it. Right there, you can actually set off the demo charge. The magical question is, does he actually do so? Looks like he's not realising he can... Nope, there we go, wipe. In this case, the mine then ends up being wasted. So, sort of a bit of a... the danger is not just doing it one piece here. Either way, though, he wiped the Sturmpioneer squad to a loss there for Park. And the third Aufklärungsabteilung. But yeah, usually again, because in most Panzer divisions, the armoured reconnaissance was usually in fact on half tracks. At least one battalion, just like the regular Panzer Grenadiers. I mean, they usually then see action as well. They're sort of armoured Panzer Grenadiers to support the Panzers. The other chatsmen, of course, work for other bits, though they could also find themselves drawn in there to the first part. But a little fun fact, then again, it's not something you hear a lot of details about in terms of organisation, of course, tactical usage. So, again, fun detail there. Jaegers, Volksgrenadiers, no additional assault rifles. We've got replacement Sturmpioneers. We've got the Luchs moving ahead. That should definitely give Parky a bit of punch versus Puco. The Puco, of course, has not been lazing off. In fact, he's got the tank-per-tank command up. But he's actually going for the H6M here. Contra versus Volksgrenadiers here. Large Russian force, the single Volksgrenadier squad left to stand their ground. But with no cover, they're pretty much buggered. Meanwhile, Unteroffizier Ludwig strikes in his Aufklärungspanzer. Come on, Ludwig, you can do it. Herr Unteroffizier, we can hear you. Stop talking to yourself. Running down the mortar crew here, doing a bit of damage with the 2 centimeter auto cannon. H6 almost done. Oh. I was going, in preparation for the sneeze, just more like, he could risk running into an anti-tank grenade, and then the H6, in which case this looks would have very much been a notch. Still pressuring a bit his opponent here, a bit aggressive play with the looks. Quick hit there from the H6M's 76.2mm gun. Strong position in the centre. We got anti-tank grenades now up here for Puco's into, of course, now is where Park needs to be careful with his looks. Gunning down some of the mortar crewmen there. H6 shoots, misses. Contra can in fact into tank grenade if they want to. And likely will. There we go. Damaged engine. H6 rolls ahead there. Goes in on the hunt there for the looks. A few shots going off there. Misses because it hits a wall. Interesting enough, he doesn't try to sort of pursue. In this case, of course, there's a Academy for blocking further pursuit there. So in this case, Park was able to save his light tank there, his reconnaissance tank specifically. Fortunately, they're pushed back by conscripts. Mortar there continue to blast away. Veterans one still. Veterans on the other. And H6M here pulling back for some repairs. And he's rushing down here like Ken is trying to probably locate it and then possibly even steal it. A lot of explosions here. Park back at base for the time being, reinforcing, rebuilding as he prepares for another push.
Standing by. Send orders. Orders complete.
And there we go. We got shock rifle here for Puco. Opening up for shock troopers. Comes here with the Jaegers. He could pop here grenade assault, or is he just going to pop an incendiary grenade? Hard to say here what Park is thinking. Of course, oh, what is this? He's going for a second looks now. This is quite rare to see. 2 luxes. Particularly since he knows there's an enemy assault gun out in the field, yet he's still committing to 2 light reconnaissance tanks for dealing with the infantry. That is definitely an interesting approach there from Park. I'm not saying you can't all go for 2 luxes, but how I'd personally do it is first I'd go for the lux, then a Puma, then another lux, then possibly another Puma, that way forming up sort of 2 smaller detachments there, or patrols, as they're known in German nomenclature, or Wehrmacht specifically. All the way, looks sitting out there. Engineers here caught by the looks, and again he's going for the 3 engineer build, which again can very quickly negate any cover advantage for the Germans, making it very difficult for them to use houses as well. So that's ultimately then why I went for the 3 engineers, pretty much to make cover. Not much of an option there for Park. He could lose here the SU-76. He's trying to deal here with the Raketenwerfer. Engineer, Fox was wiped out, but he got the SU-6. He got it. Raketenwerfer not wiped out though. Bit of a loss here for Puco, but also Park. And there you go. Second Lux arrived. So there we go. Right now, the only thing Puco has to halt these two light tanks is anti-tank grenades. And most of his infantry is not in a condition to assist the two light tanks. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit rare to see it, but again, if you do go for two Luxes, again, you will have a lot of anti-infantry punch, and in fact, they could even take out a single T-70 on their own. Of course, they'll struggle versus assault guns. So you can see Puco takes the, full assault of this, goes for the field guns to cover things up until he can bring up something that can handle the Luxes here. But with this Park tank, you got a pretty good option now for sort of taking control of the field. Also, very nice to see someone trying to commit harder to light vehicles. Again, most players, well, as a rule of thumb, only ever go for one. It's not like you can't go for more than one. Just people usually sort of stall then onto tier 3. But strategically, trying to play for a heavy vehicle play can work out, but it does, of course, require a lot of more light-footed play, and means you can't assault quite as much as you want. On the other hand, it does mean you can do a lot of flanking. Should do a lot of flanking, to be more specific. But still, moving forward here. Mortars again setting up here, both now with 5 kills, close to 52 conscript engineers. Field gun out. No further vehicles or armor there, of course, might planning to take up. Pushing his looks, they're pretty far ahead there. No anti-tank grenades though. Of course, his men are bunching up right in front of the mortars. There we go. Virtually 2. A lot of German troops down about the incendiary grenades galore, popping out in the houses here. And there you go, full retreat before they get wiped here by the mortars. Sensible. Very sensible. Field gun moving up here. And Luke's moving straight here for the bait. The mortars, in this case, run straight into the field gun. Second Luke's moving in. Okay, he's already flanked the field gun. But there you go. We got a KV-8 out for Puco. KV-8 flamethrower tank, and he switched over to the 45mm gun. There you go. Flanking the Luke's. A complete surprise here for Park. I don't think he was expecting a KV-8 flamethrower tank. Field gun wiped here. On the other hand, he has very much retreat here. Oh, he was even laying down mines on the retreat path. Puco, you sneaky bastard. And it almost would have worked here, too. Yeggs moving about their KV-8, switching over to the flamethrower to deal with them. And there you go. Lux is pulling back here. Ports there being grabbed. Some intense action. Yeggs run off here by the KV-8. Hot on their heels. Ha 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 ha. Sergeant Petrov moving about in his heavy tank. Though generally, I think by 1944-45, they would generally been using only T-34-76s modified to use flamethrowers, in which case it wouldn't be the main gun, but actually the whole machine gun replaced with a flamethrower, allowing them still to fire the main gun at the enemy. Sturmpan is a bit of trouble there with the KV-8. Decisive versus Volkskriegs moving about. Veteran T3 there, and we got a Puma on the way for Park to help deal with the KV-8s as well. A single Raketenwerfer and 2 Luxes is not going to be any use versus a KV-8 flamethrower tank. Lieutenant, why are you doing this? Piss off the Russians. Like, what? Piss them off so they won't think so much when we actually get the counter to them. In the centre here, we got Yeggs in a lot of trouble, and he's too focused, I think, on the KV-8 here doing damage. He might actually risk losing. Oh, there you go, saves one man. Flat in place, but they're firing away at the KV-8. Some actually slightly penetrating the rear armour there. And there you go, Puma routes there with its 50mm gun, fires at the KV-8, misses. Flat in placement, burned to a cinder. In the meanwhile, though, good move here by Park. He probably should have done that sooner. Basically, what he realises here, of course, is if his looks can't do anything against the KV-8s, he's just going to strike with them elsewhere, doing damage to Puco elsewhere on the map. So, good realisation here, good tactical sense, switching about there, and, while the KV-8's up busy there, his looks to strike at other softer targets. So in this case, it didn't quite fully work out there, though it was close, I think, to sort of fully having worked out. That he was just a bit too late. Still, one though is close to being knocked out, and we actually here at the mid-game point in terms of damage. Puco's actually slightly ahead kills-wise, though. Park has the kill lead, but not quite as much as one might hope for him. In terms of army value, Park though is ahead. I mean, he's been able to sort of really nicely establish it. In this case, the 2 looks has actually worked out here after he got the SN6 again. We sort of see Puco has been scrambling to sort of get back into the game with the KV-8, and of course that might pressure Park a lot more. He's also bringing up a second field gun, which of course could do further damage there to Park. Resource float wise, neither player's really floating a lot. I mean, we got here for Puco a bit when he was saying up for the KV8, but beyond that, it's not like neither players have been floating crazily in terms of points held. And again, sort of initially there, but again, Puco did get the upper hand several times. But again, now Park is beginning to strike back with more light vehicles. In this sense, he will actually have the mobility advantage over Puco now, thanks to the two Luxes and the Puma. Of course, the KV8 is still going to be quite the threat to bring down with just that, and that's basically going to come down to the Puma. So, in that regard, Puco's strategy or tactics should probably involve somehow trying to either nullify or at least take out the Puma entirely, that way freeing him up to deal with the Luxes at a much more leisurely pace. And of course, in that regard, Puco I think should consider some mines here and there, that way trying to catch up any of the light vehicles, deny them the mobility advantage, and then punch them out of the game. If he can do that, I think Puco has a good chance of winning this. But again, it's going to require mines and possibly, I think, some H16s or something else speedy, so that way, you know, catch them down and deal with them. Maybe a pair of T70s could work out there. Otherwise, I mean, he's going to play for the IS-2. A few fuel catchers, I think, would also be quite a strong choice, and ultimately also more harassment of Park's fuel to that way deny him from getting to up more vehicles or any armor there versus Puco. Beyond that, not much else to say there from Puco's side. As for Park, I mean, you know, he wants to hit the fuel points, wants to deny Puco fuel, and otherwise, you know, keep up the tactics so far. Maybe a bit more cautious with the infantry, and possibly consider taking up for, say, a Panzer IV, a Yak Panzer, but at least some orbitals on that way to deal with Puco's infantry. So let's return to the fight and see what happens here. But there you go, Luxus rolling about. There you go, KV8 now trying to deal with Luxus. Puma takes advantage for several rear hits through the rear armor with its 50mm gun. Almost got the KV8 there. Engine destroyed. Well, he's heavily damaged here. But he will leave with the KV8 here. Folks, moving up there. Switch over back to the... No, not the flamethrower, just stick to the 45mm gun. Sis-3 number 2 running there for Puco, and he's getting more engineers. He's actually lost quite a few of them, plus some conscripts, so in that regard. The Luxes, I think, have actually served quite a nice purpose there for Park. He's also now upgraded here for the repair pioneers on his mechanized regiment. And an incendiary barrage called in there versus the Germans. And of course, we've still got the double mortars there to worry about for Park. Which of course only further encourages Park to stay mobile and fluid, since he's got a lot of things that is Puco that could easily damage Park if he stands around in one place for too long. One looks operating, he's splitting them up now, needs to be careful. I mean, obviously he wants to prevent Puco from getting too much advantage while his entire vehicle pool is out there, or at least most of it, but at the same time he does risk, you know, more easily losing just that one light tank. And of course he doesn't know that Puco has brought up a second field gun, so right now, I mean, Park is getting his light tank into a lot of trouble. There you go, main gun destroyed, and oh, he's trying to sort of cloak it out there, and interesting enough, Park does not pursue the matter and allows Park here to pull back his reconnaissance tank. Yeah, it's good we brought this tablecloth so we could look like snow. Yeah, can't believe the Russians bought that one. And again, artillery fire quickly knocks out several German infantrymen there. Ludwig, Fritz and Otto dead in a matter of moments. And there again, Puma opening up there. Raketman supporting as well here. Taking hits there at the KV8. Jäger's moving ahead here. Almost got it, but now his Puma's taking hits there from the field guns. It's up to actually 2 Jäger squads now, Mr. Park. Engineers taking losses, Fortunate, and Jäger's is blasting away at them. Raketman supporting here to prevent them from getting rushed, but so far the KV8 is only going one direction, and that is away from Park's lines. But Puco is making a good job. They're harassing Park's fuel overall, again maintaining map control there, though of course harassment now comes with a bit of a higher price thanks to the Luxes when they're not being repaired. Now obviously the Lux isn't very good at actually dealing with retreating units, in particular not full health, full number squads, so ultimately in this case only gets one kill, and the fuel point is nonetheless still lost there to Park, ensuring Puco actually gets a bit more fuel for a brief moment of time. KV8 being fixed up there. Conscripts there versus engineers. Mortar raining down there. Got another Lux there striking in, and now both Lux are once more good to go again at the same time. Some heavy and light armor action there from Park. Again, pretty rare to see any German player from the Oberkommando West, that is, going for a lot of light vehicles like that. I mean, both Luxes and Pumas. That is Definitely some more unique and I would say interesting play. And again, highlights that the Oberkommanders can do it, though, of course, it's going to be pretty damn tricky. I mean, not that it's not going to be easy, but it's definitely doable, I think. And there you go. Puco's actually going for a second KV-8 here. That's actually a bit surprising. I think he'd gone for the IS-1 by this point, but he's going for double KV-8s here. Both being now allowed to use the 45mm guns. And there you go. Field gun supporting it against the looks. At least one of them's going to be lost here. This time they can't just pull over a tablecloth and hide away. Puma getting there for here versus the KV-8. Other KV-8 flanking in. Field gun still there. No, he's calling in artillery against his position. Stuka's full on the way now for Park. But certainly a bit of loss to losing one of his light tanks. In fact, the one that just hit Veteran too. Market Square suffering a bit under the 5mm howitzers. In theory, it could also be a 105mm gun, or 110cm canon, as was also known, of which the Germans had a few of them per division as well. In fact, had much higher range than the howitzers. Little fun fact there. Albert Puma moving out there, looking for getting off a few hits here and there. Pots there being grabbed. Back here, looks fixed up. We got the Stukas moving up here, clearly supported by the Panzerpionierabteilung, since that's pretty much the only part of a Panzer division that would have had these chaps. Little fun fact there. Puma shooting. There you go, KV-8 advances again. Engaging there the Pumas, other KV-8 engaging the infantry, while the first one engaging light vehicles. Close eventually too, actually. Now both the switch over to light flamethrowers. Actium is going to opportunity to do some good damage to the Puma. Had they both had the... Oh dear. Jäger's about to get wiped there. Oh, they actually did get wiped. They did get wiped. There goes back to this KV-8, and there we go, knocked out. Moved it straight to the Kednev here while the Puma did a lot of damage. In fact, hit eventually too. Good work there. Puco, I think, got a bit too overconfident and also should have kept at least one of them at a 45mm gun here to deal with a Puma instead. Overextended. And got a bit of a backhand blow there from Park. Nice blow there, Park. Nice blow. Need to fix up that Puma pretty quickly. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Puco once more advancing. He's beginning to again lay down sort of more mines and the likes, at least some demo charges as well, just to blow up any fascist invaders to deal with the Hitler-like scum. Looks like moving about. We got a light infantry gun now on the way for Park. A bit of light artillery set way besides the Stukas. Interesting combo there. Also pretty much the only artillery combo the Germans can go for. That's the Oberkommanders, really. At least if it's sort of stuff the connecting move. Right past the demo charge here, there's harassing engineer squad. Again, using the looks here to rapidly fall in harassment, though still he's pretty much on the back seat here in terms of map control against Puco. The heavy tanks can soak up a lot of damage. There you go, Puma firing there. Another shot bounces this time around though. Another penetrating hit there.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Mine went off, killing a few Jägers. Mortar fire landing closer to the Puma, doing a bit of light damage. More damage there against the KV-8. Almost Veteran 3 actually. If he can hit Veteran 3, obviously he's going to get a damage bonus there. Both to the main gun, but also the cracked machine gun. And that's actually less known detail about the Puma. Once it hits Veteran 3, it's also surprisingly good versus infantry. And that applies both to the Wehrmacht and the Oberkommando West one actually. Still, Park advances slightly here again. The Aufklärungsabteilung. In this case, clearly not the mechanized infantry, just motorized infantry doing all the work here. Ooh, hit down the Stukas from the mortars.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
There you go. Park is about to return the favour here with 6 big rockets. Can't quite remember how big the rockets are, but I think it's some of the biggest rockets the Germans got though. They might actually have a bigger Nebelwerfer version though. In fact, when you talk about a Nebelwerfer, Of course, while we know the one from Company 1, there were actually numerous versions of the Nebula. One was in fact a heavy mortar, while the others were more like rocket launch. Again, we know saw the one there with the 6 tubes, but also some of them looked quite different from that, in fact. But again, could also fire much bigger rockets. It is moving up here. Of course, they're taking minor hits. Of course, they're taking damage back here. Troops reinforcing. KV-8 being fixed up.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Looks moving about here. And there we go. Veterans one there for the mortar. Fuel also the Sturmpanzer with Flieger here being caught in a pretty bad position there by Park's troops. KV-8 rolling back in action. Looks like Puco might be setting up for the IS-2 heavy tank here. He's also got a fuel cache up, by the way. And there go, folks, being horribly burned here, but the KV-8 almost wiped out. In fact, could almost get them there. The Constant going up. Can he get them? Puma fires there, but takes hit there from the field gun. Almost veterans free. Constant keeps moving up. There you go. KV-8 rushes through, bursting through like a hungry dragon. Panzerfaust halted, fumbled. Clearly, Dieter there is never going to be allowed to handle a Panzerfaust ever again. Dieter, how can you miss at such closer range with a Panzerfaust, you idiot? That's the last time I'll ever allow you to beat a Panzerfaust. Don't you complain about it, or I'll tell the Führer. Bit on back and forth here, no real big sort of outflanking attempts from either side anymore against the other. Bit sad there. The unit wiped there thanks to the Stukas of Fuss. Not bad for Park. Oh, close quarters, Raketner for shot there. Eventually being caught here by the KV-8. Being horribly burned, and we could risk a wipe, of course, the Pumek blocking the path. He could actually use end shot here, possibly to sort of halt the KV-8, but he does not go for it. Bit of a missed opportunity, though almost getting it there. Veteran defeating there, go field gun hits though. Final shot bounces there off the front line of the KV-8 as it pulls back. Bit of resource there for Park. He could consider taking up here. Don't know what that sound was about. Might have been some other program. Oh, of course he could, you know, if he felt like he'd go for the Austrian flak punch, I suppose. I mean, in this case, it wouldn't just be, you know, a crutch calling, which is how much people use the Osprey at the moment just as a crutch here. It would actually be part of an overall larger force made up of light vehicles, but in this case, sort of flying something a bit heavier. Now straight into another demo charge. And there you go. Poor Hans notices his entire unit in front of him gets blown to bits.
Supply sector under attack.
Fixing up the KV-8 there. And Puma rolls out there close to Veteran D4. Goes for another hit there, but at max range he doesn't have much chance of as the KV-8's armour. And there we go. IS-2 out here for Puco. Thrown a Duskahe machine gun, then he's going to be pretty set there. But our way, the IS-2 rolling out here, the model 1944. I do believe, due to the better sloped armour, the first model actually had pretty poor sloped armour amongst other things. It also had a lot of other faults. I can't quite remember those, so I'm not going to talk so much about them. I heard Sam talk about apparently shooting their gun could throw things off. Armament rolling in there, pin up machine gun on the way. Luke's trying to get out of here, trying to cloak up, but this time you can't hide. Not from the wrath of Stalin. But apparently you can survive a hit from it. Kedmer for Puma gains Veteran 4. Walls save the Looks this time around. And of course the Veteran 0 Kedmer. Those hiccups, good lord. My apologies. Also now Puco's actually gone for 3 fuel caches. He's really going for a heavy fuel bender here. Very sharp shift there. Bit careful about going for too many fuel caches too quickly. But still, I mean, at least he's going for some. And as for Park, there seems to be no further response here. No take. Oh, he's going for the Ostwind here. Ostwind flak punch out here to support the 3rd Aufklärungsabteilung. KV-8 sending again. And KV-8 engaging lighting all the German infantry on fire. There you go. Ostwind strikes back pretty ineffectively though. Quick anti-tank grenade there. Puma could definitely do with some repairs as well. Almost veteran D5, though veteran D5 in sort of terms of actual combat ability does little, but it does allow them to see targets beyond other things. And he's going there for the second Puma. So 2 Pumas and a Raketnev versus the IS-2. I mean, that's pretty ambitious. Pretty damn ambitious. I mean, with a end shot, though, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's going to require a lot of flanking of the IS-2 to sort of properly pull off. And as for Puco, he's going to need a lot of support, I think, versus the Pumas there to at least sort of more successfully push them back. Grabbing points. I mean, overall, Puco is still maintaining good map control here versus Park, though, again, more mines I think would benefit Puco here and the 120th Rifle Division. Mortars, I think, also paid up pretty well there for Puco. Ambushing, actually, the field guns, actually using tracking. In this case, they're not quite working out. Oh! Straight into the demo charge and wipes again. Those demo charges definitely paid off quite well there for Puco. I think he's at least wiped 3 squads with them. Definitely 2, but maybe 3. And there you go, another unit wiped here. That's some huge losses there for Park. I mean, most of his forces, he's got actually less infantry than vehicles and armor. 2 Pumas, 1 Lux, 1 Ostwind. And this is going to be tricky, I think, for Park. And he's going there for the SN6M to support his heavy armor detachment there. Ostwind looks moving ahead here as well. Looks like Park is planning some kind of big operation in the west. He's going to use the light armor here to sort of spot ahead for the vehicles, the Pumas, by the looks of it. Oh, going for the fuel cache, but right next to the KVA. Engineers out in the open there. IS-2 moves out, hits the Lux. Pumas moving in there. A Kedden effort. Pumas all fail to penetrate or hit. More shots there. 1 penetrating hit so far. Again, though, I'm not too surprised at that. I mean, the Pumas shouldn't be able to reliably penetrate an IS-2 from the front. That should be more like, you know, a rarity. Again, they're shooting 50mm guns versus sloped at least 100mm thick armor. I mean, there's a reason they went away from the Panzer III for starters, and the Puma's pretty much equipped with the same gun. Getting all bounds, 2 shots went through actually. On the other hand, it was more interesting that like Kednev kept bouncing, since that has better penetration than both the Pumas. Modified there's the Fultz Grenadiers. SN6 on still almost done there for Puco. If you can bring up another one, that would be even better. Maybe a T70 though, to sort of slightly hit back at some of Park's infantry, maybe sort of flank some elements here. Again, preparing the vehicles for a push now into the centre, it seems. Engineers straight into the Ostwind here. Looks as well. And KV8 says, oh, catching here! Oh, what are we doing there? This. Oh, that was so lucky there for Park, so lucky. Field gun moving up, KV8 moving straight to the fire here. Got IS-2 moving up as well. Field gun shoots, almost got the Lux here. Kednev firing at the IS-2, IS-2 pulls back. Got artillery fire ring down there against the Kednev and the Stukas of Fuss. Lux finally went down there. Finally got the bleeding piece of metal here. Pumanes taking hits from the field gun. Vetri 2. There's Fjordpanzers moving up. IS-2 here. Hasn't actually taken a lot of damage here from all the Pumas, though. Again, not too unsurprising. They're not Jagdpanzers. Almost wiped the Sturmpanzer with the mortars again. Those mortars really paid off there, I think, for Puco. And there you go. Got the KB8, but at the same time almost close to these, getting one of the Pumas here. Both popping smoke. Field gun falling back in this case. Good lord. And the IS-2 is also now being pushed back here with heavy damage. Field gun here trying to get away. Engine 6 bombarding. Trying to get like Kednev, which is very close to actually 5. Field gun needs to set up here against the Ostwind. Ostwind going up here against the mortar crew. And wipes it. Huge loss there to Puco. That was one of his most veteran mortar. In fact, I think it's the one that has done the most for him in terms of kills. It's a bit of a shame there for Puco. And now we got a second Ostwind up here for Park. Another Flak Panzer. Another SN6 on the way for Puco. Well, yeah, some pretty solid handling there of the Pumas by Park. I don't think you see a lot of players who can make double Pumas work quite nicely. But Park did. I mean, thumbs up to him. I mean, a lot of players tend to handle the Pumas at the moment like tanks, and, well, the Puma's not a tank. So double Osmonds here, laying down a storm of high explosive flak fire there, wiping up the conscripts in a matter of seconds. Also, a little trick to using the Ostwind, don't move it and fire. It's a lot less accurate on the move, as it does tend to pack more punch while standing still. Little pro tip there on the Ostwind. Those two moving hit there, though, with next to no support. In fact, he's splitting up his vehicles. Bit of a poor decision, I think, there by Puco. Puma there catching one extra 6, but no, he's going for the... Oh, there, go engages it. Realises there's a more tasty target separate from the rest of the force, and seizes upon it. Like a German lion on a Soviet gazelle. They're slightly falling back from the rest of the pattern. There you go. Whoa, Puco calls GG. Has he given up here? I guess. Puco's simply given up. I mean, he's still got the heavy tank, he's got infantry, he's got support weapons, yet it seems like here the armoured wolf pack of Park has simply sort of broken Puco's will quite interestingly. I mean, so there you go. I mean, some interesting, again, play there from Park. Heavy light vehicle play from the Oberkommand West. Rarely seen this actually, I think, one point recently popular. That was right at the beginning, where it was also really, really good, in fact, broken. But seems like Park is sort of trying to bring it back here, which is nice to see again. Pumas, Ostwind sort of supporting, not using the Ostwind as a crutch. Also, thumbs up again. I'm so used to players using the Ostwind like a crutch. It quite frankly gets boring, and any time I see just someone go straight for the Ostwind, I sort of just go, oh no, not another one, and pretty much just sort of look at something else. It's a nice play there by Park, really good attacking, good use of flanking, harassment. Well, he could have flanked more, I think, but overall he made sort of good use of light vehicles to make hit and run tactics against Puco. Puco sort of tried to respond with heavy tanks, but I think that was the wrong response. I think he actually should have tried to take up for T-3476 and tried to force Park into a head-on engagement, in which case the Pumas would have fared a lot less well. I mean, it's against sort of T-34s and a bunch of them, the Pumas will pretty much sort of get wrecked. So in this case, I think Puco went for not a quite fully sort of good response there, and I think was actually a bit too intimidated by the Pumas, even with his IS-2. When again, had he tried to sort of push out against Park, I think would have found that Park would have sort of buckled a lot more. Also, a lot more mines would have benefited Puco, you know, more than just a bunch of demo charge against to try and catch some of those light vehicles. But there you go. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this match, learned something from it, got some ideas for matches. If you did, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a new plan of some, well, feedback in the comment section. If this is Imperial Linking, cheers, thank you for watching, up till tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye!